Good morning, this is TCR, TroyCommunityRadio.com. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN. Time now for the Mayor's Report, and in with us this morning, not the Mayor, but our Street and Solid Waste Foreman, Jerry Mullins.
Good morning, Clint. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the program. Hey, I wanted to ask you a couple questions that we could talk about this morning. First off, kind of give us an overview of what it is to be the Street and Solid Waste Foreman.
Well, basically, I've got 11, 13 guys that work between the solid waste and street departments. And basically, they go out. I got two guys who run the new automated arm trucks that we have now that we just got into operation last year. They've been about a year, and it's going really well. Initially, that was kind of hectic. We had 8,200 carts that we had to get put together, and then we delivered them ourselves in lieu of paying a contractor to do it. But that program has really taken off. The citizens put their carts out where they're supposed to go, and it's made it a whole really much cleaner, safer operation all the way around. We have some areas in town where it's rough on the citizens to get their cart to find a room, Plum Street, places like that where there's parking on the street.
Gotcha.
But they've worked with us and worked together, and we've figured out ways to get it out there. So, I'm in charge of picking up the trash, the brush, tea bags, also manage all the pothole repairs or street repairs that might need to take place. We set up barricades for downtown celebrations or down on Treasure Island. We also, you've seen us out probably on Main Street, crack sealing, where they're crack seal. We've got a Durapatch crew that goes out and makes temporary or semi-permanent repairs to smaller areas that are damaged in the roadway when we try to avoid the major expensive repair with asphalt. We've got an infrared machine that we use to make repairs with. We do all the mowing of the right-of-ways along State Route 55, East 55, all the ditches that we maintain in town. Our guys have little Ventrac mowers. It looks like a little lunar module. It's got big balloon tires on it that we get in the ditches with, and we mow when we can. It really just covers a wide array of different things that we do in the street and solid waste departments. If you see a dead animal on the street and you call, I'm the guy out there with the scoop shovel.
Gotcha.
Trying to pick it up. And so it just pretty much covers just about everything that you could think of. If you have an issue and need to call, you can call 335-1914. That's our number to maintenance facility. And usually someone from the street or solid waste will show up to hopefully take care of the issue.
Not to mention, at wintertime, you take care of the salting and the pre-treatment and the plowing.
Right, and I didn't even want to mention it. We're
done with snow. We're done with snow for the summer.
We are glad that's over, but you're right, we did implement brining, and we are the ones out that are salting and plowing the roadways.
Now, when I was talking to the mayor last week, some of the things that we always bring up, especially now that you see folks out, or you guys are out patching potholes as you can get to them as quick as you can, part of any delay, everyone seems to think that should happen real quick, but you have to wait for the hot asphalt plants to open.
Correct. Yeah, we can make temporary repairs with cold mix, but unfortunately, that's one of those things where you put it in the hole 2 or 3 days later, if it rains or as cars beat it, you find yourself repairing the same potholes over and over again all winter. And you're right. Once the plant opens up, what we try to do is we try to keep the crews out making those permanent repairs. So it may be, as long as it's not a giant pothole that's tearing cars up, if it's just a small delineation in the roadway, we'll try to let it go till we can get a crew out there to make that permanent repair, and we just move on to the next one. And on our list this year, we currently have 73, but we had 143 potholes this year.
Wow.
That we actually had to either maintain. We had actually gone out and put cold mix in. Some of them had done damage to vehicles, and unfortunately, that's sometimes how we find out. A lot of people think, well, man, I damaged my car. I think there ought to be some restitution for that. But unfortunately, sometimes we don't even know about the pothole if someone calls and says, hey man, I just busted a tire on a hole, because they pop up overnight, seemingly. We had one pop up on Main Street from that real big rain we had when Main Street looked like a waterfall out there. And by the time that water dissipated, there were 4 or 5 holes that weren't there before it rained that we had to go out and repair. Some of them were pretty bad. So it's an ongoing issue in the wintertime. And this year I would think, I've listened to some of the other street commissioners and stuff from around the area. I think this year was one of our worst freeze-thaw winters where potholes formed. It really did a lot of damage to our roadways. But the asphalt plant's open, and we're out doing it. We've put down over 80 tons of asphalt already in the first couple of weeks, so we're out doing that daily now.
So when you see the guys out in the orange vest, just thank them. Don't be mad that maybe you got to go a block over, but they're getting those streets put together for us. Permanent repairs on the potholes. And coming into summer, what are some of the other things that you'll have on your agenda?
Well, the thing coming into this time of year right now, the thing that starts hitting us is we're out mowing, we're out with our tractors, and we try to get in the ditches. What I would tell people is we do maintain the ditches. Is we find a lot that people will mow their grass, and if their house backs up to a ditch, or if they have some tree sticks that fall down, they like to throw them in a ditch. You know, it's easy to do that instead of put them out and tie them up out front. That can cause issues with the ditches, especially. It could also break our equipment when they're trying to mow. I would ask people that live near any of the storm ditches in town to be patient. If there's water in the bottom, we can't get in there and do any mowing to it. We can kind of get on the banks, but normally we try to get in as best we can and get the ditches mowed as quickly as possible and try to keep them so they can flow. But we can be helped out a lot if people would not throw stuff in the ditches from their backyards, leaves, things like that. We find all kinds. We find grocery carts in the ditches. You find pretty much, you can find anything in the ditch if you mow and work around here long enough. The other thing is our tea bags and our brush. If you have stuff in your yard that you want to throw away, you can purchase tea bags at the billing office or down at True Value. We ask that anything small, please go in the tea bag and put that out. And it normally is picked up on your trash day. Sometimes during the year there's so many, and we've picked up 150 of them in a day before, and it's just one guy out doing that. So sometimes you might get a little bit behind. I would say if it's there more than 48 hours, you probably need to call and say, I think you forgot my tea bag. But generally, we try to get them picked up on the day of trash, and that also applies to your smaller brush that's maybe too big for the bag. If you can bundle that tightly and set it out with your trash, we'll also get that on your trash day.
If it's easy for them to carry it out to the curb, it'll be quick and easy for you guys to get it on the truck.
Correct.
All right. Anything else you would like to add in this morning?
No, all I can say is, we're glad the winter's over.
I think we're all glad that winter's over.
We're glad that we can move on. You'll start seeing some things downtown. The fountain's going to be put in here within the next 4 to 5 days, and it'll start looking like summer around here again. I will say that our dye mill facility's open. You can check the website for the hours on that. Another avenue for you to get rid of your brush and stuff if you don't want to place it out in front of your house. But we're always looking forward to a hot, steamy summer around here, and glad to see the cold weather go away.
Cannot wait. And I never thought I'd be saying that. Usually, once it warms up, everyone's like, oh, I wish it were cooler.
Yeah.
And then we go into winter, and everyone wishes it was summer. So, all right, Jerry, thank you so much for stopping by this morning.
Thank you.
Jerry Mullins, Street and Solid Waste Foreman for the City of Troy. I'm Clint Myers on 107.1 WTJN.